Hello, my name is Kayla Cormier.
And my name is Shreya Bobdekar, and we are from the Brain and Behavior Laboratory at the University of Colorado Boulder. We'll be presenting our poster on neuroplasticity in language development. This poster examined the impact of supplemental listening and spoken language therapy in children with permanent hearing loss treated by hearing aids and cochlear implants. The results presented in this poster were collected as part of an NIH clinical trial comparing in-person and telehealth supplemental language therapy with PIs Dr. Grigsby at the University of Colorado Denver and Dr. Sharma at the University of Colorado Boulder. Studies have cited the incidence of hearing loss in South Asian children is among the highest in the developed world, at a rate of about 16%, and over half of those cases are of permanent hearing loss. Children with permanent hearing loss are often treated with hearing aids or cochlear implants, with most children receiving supplemental language therapy services as well. However, previous studies have found mixed benefit of language therapy to further support their language development. Therefore, we wanted to explore the impact of providing additional supplemental language therapy above that which the children typically receive on both language development and neuroplasticity. To better understand the neuroplasticity of this language development, we examined the cortical auditory evoked potential, or the CAEP, which is a biomarker of cortical auditory maturation. This is a brain response reliably measured by EEG that is delayed in children with untreated permanent hearing loss, but can align with typically hearing children once the hearing loss is treated. Furthermore, the CAEP has shown to correlate with language outcomes in children with hearing loss. CAEP measures and language measures using the Preschool Language Scale 5 were measured at baseline and following approximately 6 months of supplemental listening and spoken language therapy, abbreviated as LSL. Supplemental LSL was delivered either in person or via telehealth. We examined these measures in a total of 37 participants, 18 with hearing aids and 19 with cochlear implants, all between the ages of 1.5 and 6.5 years old.
For our results, we converted the Preschool Language Scale 5 scores to age equivalent scores, which allowed us to compare the change in the children's expressive communication, auditory comprehension, and total language scores compared to their chronological age. In doing so, we showed that there was a significantly greater change in expressive communication scores and total language scores from the therapy than that in chronological age, suggesting that the children improved beyond expected age-related language development. However, following the supplemental LSL, the children still showed significant differences in their expressive communication and total language scores compared to their chronological age on average. In a similar manner, we saw that the actual change from therapy in our CAEP measure was greater than that of the expected change from maturation when using age-matched normative values. Also, we noted that approximately 50% of the children in this study demonstrated a change from abnormal to normal CAEP responses using those age-matched normative values. And lastly, these two outcome measures were found to be correlated, such that those who had more typical auditory cortical maturation showed better language outcomes.
So, all the children in this study did show gains in language development, as demonstrated by an improvement in their language scores, as well as gains in auditory maturation, as demonstrated by a decrease in that P1 latency of the CAEP. These findings suggest that within our sample, supplemental language therapy delivered either in person or via telehealth provide additional benefit to children with permanent hearing loss treated by hearing aids or cochlear implants. These findings should be replicated in a sample of South Asian children with permanent hearing loss. This is of particular importance given the high rate of hearing loss, as well as the availability of supplemental language therapy developed for South Asian children that is not yet implemented due to geographic and economic barriers. Our study encourages the further accessibility of this supplemental language therapy and the investigation of concurrent language and brain development following.
Thank you for listening to our poster.